Thank God it's Friday. Welcome to the show. I am Tokpe Mark Odige, and I'm here with the lovely ladies of your view. Welcome to the show.
Good morning. So I should say,
I'm starting with you. You are ready for a very, very eventful weekend.
Party time.
As in, you're like blinging all through.
And it's a Friday, so you want to just, move around town and just... I have work to do.
You have work to do. You're a busy young lady.
You're too busy for a young girl. Small time to...
Please, this is the time when a lady can prepare for the future. When you start having children, you don't have any more time on your hands.
You can't be locked up inside that office and will not be seen. The people that,
Joe, what's your portfolio again?
I'm the head of News Radio Continental.
Good.
Fantastic. For a young lady, you're doing very well for yourself.
Thank you. Thank you.
Socialize, Mosha.
Nima.
But it's true, you have to balance it.
I saw Imran, I saw Gufran, I was wondering.
We're visiting grandma today.
Okay.
I'm taking a brief close to her house and she has been nagging me since Salah that I've not brought her children. Nima, you don't have time again. Okay, I'm sorry, ma. Today I'm going to dump them there, go for my brief and then come back.
Don't use the word dump. It sounds...
it's not negative. I'm actually going to put them.
She's going
to have the entire day with
She was
them.
looking so pretty. Her daughter, they were wearing the same thing. And
you're making me miss
cute.
not having a daughter. I feel so like...
But it's not too late.
Don't worry. You have a daughter now. She's still your daughter.
Oh yeah, that's true. Jumoke?
I thank God very much for this year and all the miracles that have happened thus far. In a recession, while people are losing their jobs, some people are buying brand new cars because God has been faithful, and so it's a mindset thing. If you concentrate on what is positive in your life and what you can do to improve your life, there are many opportunities around you. You just need to open your eyes to them. That said, I am wearing my Lagos State Ankara today because they refused to give us Ankara. We got the Ankara by ourselves. They now decided after the celebrations to send us Ankara. Thank you, Lagos at 50, for sending us Ankara. We are wearing it.
Just have said thank you. Don't simply say thank you.
He's vexed.
But it looks really nice. I prefer this to the other green one. This is just 50. And
I like both. I've actually watched that one several times. I thought it was a very, very cheap material, but it's a good one. It's a good one.
We're still celebrating Lagos.
We're still celebrating Lagos. This year it's all about Lagos at 50. I'm feeling very, very happy. I went yesterday to a new studio I'm working on, a new makeup studio. I have a timeline of 2 weeks to open up the place, and the furniture is halfway done. And I'm feeling really happy and fulfilled that I'm able to juggle it, because sometimes people feel like you can't do 2 or 3 things at the same time. But it's working out well, and I'm feeling happy about that.
Congratulations.
Any plan for the weekends though?
Yes, I have a meeting today. I have 2 meetings tomorrow. I have 1 meeting on Sunday, all business meetings.
What happened?
That's not
Someone
Friday.
just
That's
talked
not
about
That's
my
not
life.
I'm telling you.
Someone just talked about my
She
was talking about the
because
vacation life.
my weekend is equally going to be boring because I'm doing training.
My weekend is not going to be boring at all. I'm organizing a VIP party next week, and all the meetings are towards that.
I'm a VIP.
Fantastic. So, coming up after the short break, we'll review the front pages of the newspaper. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Welcome back. We'll be starting the front page review with The Guardian. Major headline. You're lazy, Sultan tells northern governors. Ask leaders to tackle region's problems. Governors flay pro-Biafran agitation, restructuring. Yoruba group seeks recreation of Oduduwa Republic. And in other news, we have sharp practices threaten $68 billion investment in telecom sectors. And you can't miss the picture of our acting president, Yemi Osinbajo, flanked by the governor of Rivers State, Nyesom Wike, and the former governor, the current Minister of Transportation, Rotimi Amechi. So, Esther, you were saying you're going to take the story of the lazy, you're lazy from Sultan.
Yeah, the Sultan of Sokoto, Sahad Abubakar, yesterday, they had a meeting in Kaduna where the host governor was Malam Nasser El-Rufai. And yesterday, they talked about all the issues that are plaguing the environment, both the herdsmen attack and you know, security issues, socioeconomic issues, and he came out to tell them that, see, you are not, what you expect from the people is what you should be giving to them. The development of the northern region is so slow, and if you come out and do these things faster, things would move in this region. And they didn't only talk about that alone, they actually spoke about restructuring and how they should actually come together to make sure that they forge their way through to this. And what came to my mind is that we should stop having too much of meetings and having much of work done. Fantastic. Because we keep having lots of caucus meeting. You hear today the Southwest governors, tomorrow Southern governors, South, Southeast, North Central. And what do we have coming out of them?
I agree with you, but I love the fact that the Sultan is speaking. At this meeting he was there, because these issues in the North, really, they are really serious issues. And they've been persisting forever. The Emir of Kano the other time was talking and was the first. And imagine what happened.
I'm just saying, yes, there's something, you're bringing something out of this meeting. Let's see it come into implementation.
Yes. So while we wait for the implementation, we are happy that someone is speaking up
about it. And
yes, so it's a good one. Moving on to the Punch, major headline: how federal governors shield indicted judges from sanctions prosecution. Buhari, Yari, Ganduje, others failed to punish judges. That's from the NJC. Other news: Forbes billionaire list, Dangote, Adenuga gain as Bezos overtake Bill Gates. Boko Haram attacks, NNPC suspends oil search in Chad Basin. Reps supports Senate, rejects devolution of power, okays local government autonomy. Obasanjo aware of Yar'Adua's ill health before 2007 elections. That's from Fayose. APC suspends Banire, demands sacking as legal advisor. Federal government plans 7.9 trillion naira budget for 2018. And Kwara civil servants are arraigned for anti-Saraki Facebook campaign. So someone has stated the NNPC suspending oil.
Yes, the NNPC, you know, the president had given out a directive to do oil search in the Chad Basin, and the NNPC, while working at that particular basin, were attacked by Boko Haram. Usually, according to the Minister of State for Petroleum, Mr. Kachiku, the NNPC do not go on that research without proper directive from the military saying that there's clearance to go. They get that clearance and then they go with military with them. But this particular time, the Boko Haram ambushed them and killed scores of them. 48
bodies.
Along with some military officials. It is sad that, we are saying that the war against Boko Haram has been won, and yet people cannot move freely within the areas where, the Boko Haram members are their stronghold. This is one of their stronghold, and unfortunately, this research for oil will stop until there's a major clearance now because of what has happened. We can't continue to lose lives and pay lip service to this insurgency. If there's a situation on ground, there must be body language and everything like what they call it, against it. We must understand the situation on ground. Don't give us fake news that things are fine while, this kind of attack can happen.
This oil exploration in the Chad Basin was spearheaded so that they will have oil in the north. Now, we were saying we wanted to move away from oil revenues and, diversify our economy. Now, this has happened and we lost 18 soldiers, some professors from the University of Maiduguri, amongst other people. By the time their bodies were received, you can imagine the dismay that people are feeling, because now you are suspending this oil exploration.
Yeah.
You didn't have to even go and explore for oil in Lake Chad in the first place.
But if you're giving
our heart goes out to the 48 people that lost their lives and their families. Moving on to the nation, major headline: senators under fire over power devolution vote. Women protest as reps vote on indigenship. In other news, Oshimbajo to service chief return to Borno. Mushin APC 6 Banire's expulsion. Ajimobi okays April-May salaries for workers. So
I'll take the Senate. Let's look at this 1999 Constitution Amendment, the review and the amendment. First of all, I want to blame the media that something like this. Okay, now the 1999 Constitution is being amended by both the upper and the lower chamber right now, and there are some clauses they're trying to put in place. We have the restructuring was supposed to be part of it. Local government autonomy. Okay, the devolution of powers,
to strengthen the states.
Okay, now with all those things, I'm just saying that look at the
Senate. I
Senate.
wanted you to really establish the story. A few of the amendments that were thrown out that concern us are, for instance, 35% of ministers should be women, 20% of commissioners in states should be women. All of those were rejected. Now, the Senate rejected it. The House of Assembly is agreeing with them and rejecting this. And we're thinking to ourselves, what's happening? Yeah? What's happening here? You know,
that for me is even a minor issue compared to the devolution of powers. Because we've overemphasized that to diversify is to strengthen the state. But just reduce the workload of things from the exclusive list to the concurrent list, and everything will be fine.
Funny enough,
so our governors will not be having a field day.
The issues that are arising from this recent restructuring move, there are so many issues. The voting of the devolution of power, every complication resulting from this constitutional amendment, we would have to discuss comprehensively on a particular day, because it's not a front page review issue.
I just have a problem that we don't have this process being aired live and people can vote.
Talk
because
about
you cannot make a constitutional review and
nobody does not empower referendum.
No, this is not referendum. This is not referendum. That
we should be more aware. Media should be more aware.
What is the problem of carrying these kind of things live?
Yes.
And while you're making your opinions on this, it is going on live on every station in the country.
I quickly add that in the story, former vice president of the country, Atiku Abubakar, was saying that the APC has lost its chance.
His party.
You know, lost a chance to change the lives of the people.
He also mentioned that the APC has failed to deliver on a promise they made while campaigning.
It is sad that he's paying that lip service when he could have made sure that they had a party agenda to change the lives.
Moving on to Vanguard, we need to move on though. We need to move on. Constitution alterations, Atiku, Ohanaeze, Women Group, others slam Senate. Our party has betrayed Nigerians from Atiku. Senate is primitive, says Sage. It's unfortunate, women representatives. Fault lies with political parties, from Dr. Keziah Awoshika. Other news, we have the North opposed to restructuring, says governors, and Buhari Oke's building up stamina to face national challenges, from Oyegun. And you can make the picture once again of the acting president, Governor Nyesom Wike, and the Minister of Transportation, Rotimi Amechi, at Port Harcourt International Airport yesterday. So
governors that visited the president within the week are saying that he's in high spirits, that the social media had made it seem like he's you know, he's not getting better, he's down, but that what they say of him is that he's getting better gradually, he's going to return to the country, and that the prayers of Nigerians for him to get better are being answered by God.
Okay, moving on to Daily Sun. Senators rep under attack. Ohanaeze, Afenifere, Atiku, SAN condemns National Assembly for not approving more powers for the states. In Rivers State, the picture, Osinbajo praises private sector as Wike decries politics of underdevelopment. Our encounter with Buhari in London by governors. Jumoke already took that story. Onitsha boils over pregnant woman, our kids' death at police checkpoint. How Osinbajo used me against Atiku, Kalu, McCarthy, says, that's from Fayose.
I think that's Obasanjo.
Bill Gates dethroned as world's richest man.
I would take
the Onitsha.
No, we can go with that one. But
okay,
there was another one.
The Onitsha story yesterday. A truck crushed a woman at the police checkpoint because, you know, policemen usually would stop and, you know, not park properly, and because they had contributed to that event, that occurrence happening, the youth were enraged and they had a massive protest, and, you know, there was fracas everywhere.
Okay, the commissioning of the fertilizer.
Really can't take that story. Okay. We're already out of time.
Okay.
Let's just take the last paper for the day. This day, we'll just read the headlines. 48 bodies of Chad Basin oil explorers recovered after Boko Haram ambush. Oshibajo meets security chiefs. Shetima condemns attack. Northern leaders express worry over insecurity. Military blames weather for resurgence of terrorism. Buhari ready to resume work, says Oyegun. House rejects separation of AGF from Minister of Justice, and North seek consensus on restructuring today. We can't, that's all we can take on front page review for today. Up next, we ask, who determines wedding expenses? Stay with us, we'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
Thanks for staying with us. According to reports, Chief Sir Sunday Ekele JP, the traditional ruler of Otukpa, headquarters of Ogbadigbo local government of Benue State, has allegedly banned intending grooms in the community from spending more than 100,000 naira on traditional weddings. The pronouncement became vital after the complaints from young men in the community that the outrageous bride price has been discouraging them from getting married to women of their dreams. Should anyone determine how much to spend on marriage? Please hashtag your view so we can hear from you. Now, we've discussed a few weeks ago about how expensive it is to get married, and how it is, some people avoid getting married or delay getting married because they are waiting to make a lot of money, and how some people are using wedding as an opportunity to better their life. That's okay, I've gotten one daughter. This is my daughter, Esther. She's so beautiful. She will make me rich. What's your opinion on this? So, Esther, you said you have a scope that you served in Benue State.
Yes. And we had a lot of young, old girls that 32, 35. I was a lecturer at University of, in Benue State University, and they were not getting married. So I heard that period too, that if you go to their homes, the kind of money that their parents call for the grooms, they just take to their heels and they run away. But I would want to establish the fact that even if you get married with 20 billion naira, it doesn't guarantee you having a blissful marriage. It doesn't say you're going to stay together forever. In my own purview, forget the paparazzi. I can get married inside my room with my father and my mother, and everybody do the normal thing, and we go our ways. Because I don't see all that is necessary. Yes, I don't see.
But Nima is very cultural, and a lot of this demand made are cultural. Bring a she-goat, bring a male goat, buy sewing machine, buy Ankaras for your new wife, take care of the bride's family. Can we say that does the traditional ruler have a right to stipulate the amount that can be spent during the course of a wedding? I think
marriage is something you can legislate upon, and that is within his jurisdiction as the traditional request. We're talking traditional marriages, because a lot of families, not even the parents most times now, extended family members take advantage, extended family members take advantage of the, the good thing that is about to happen, which is a traditional marriage, and enrich themselves unjustly. Imagine if an uncle who must have abandoned an orphan child, a girl, for instance, and once she's about to get married, okay, God don't catch me, now I go make my money, and you
buy motorcycle.
You frustrate the effort, the good intention of the groom, to the extent that he might even leave, like Esther cited, leave the girl and say, okay, marry your daughter. Do you understand? I'm a Muslim. I know that the dowry is not something you can legislate upon. It depends on the girl, whatever in this world that she wants, as long as the groom can afford it. So, but the bride price thing, all those list things, one uncle will say one goat for my mother's side, the grandmother's side, the oil for the, in my place, the list is still, reasonable. And I know that a lot of grooms can afford it. My brother got married in my place as well, and it's affordable. But
24 naira. Sometimes
when you see this list, furnishing of the home of the bride's home, some things that you wonder what kind of job does the guy have?
Change the generator.
A Dangote son.
As in some ridiculous things.
Ridiculous things. Because of those people, those kind of things, I think him legislating over this kind of thing is a good thing. I think so.
Is it a legislation or advice?
It's banned.
Is a traditional ruler.
traditional order amongst his
he
people.
said he banned.
And the people are his subjects, and you know, he has a say over them, so it's a kind of legislation.
I don't think that anyone has the right to determine how I do my marriage. It's very, very personal. He has an opinion, but he cannot legislate or ban. If I decide that I want to spend 200 billion on my wedding, it's my business, you know. But I think that his advice is valid, in that he's looking at his region, and there are many
single women
old,
and single men.
young single women, and he's thinking, is this issue of bride price? And you know, that's why he's advising. And it does make sense, because when you look at people who spend millions on their weddings, you're spending so much money for just that one day. Have you spent what is of more value, which is time, on preparing for the marriage to last? So you spend all the billions in one day, and at the end of the month, 2 months down the line, the man is beating you because there's no money for Gary. He cannot pay rent.
But you know, we always talk about how we're not focusing on what is most important, and how culture needs to evolve. So I'm happy that this community leader is willing to put his own statement to ensure that the culture evolves to favor the environment. But other cultures that need to evolve, what do you think that should other leaders, other community leaders, put their foot down and place a ban on other cultures that need to evolve, that we need to improve on?
Before I answer that question, I would digress a little bit to say, if we are coming together to say we are going to spend so much on weddings, people coming together think about, what are we banking for a child or children we are going to have?
Or the children,
Or, do you understand? If you're banking on, you're going to have 2 or 3 children, you want to spend like 10, 15 million.
If you can afford it.
No, I'm just saying. Do we even look at the children we want to have before we think about the wedding and the plans we are making? It looks as if it's like far from it, but we don't even think about it. And that's why we bring children to this world, and they get to suffer because we think about only what we want to do at that time and how to glorify.
Human beings are selfish. We have Trudy calling us. Welcome to the show. Good morning.
Chagwe and all of you there. I am from Anambra State.
Okay.
And it is the law in my place. The traditional, the whole town made a law that so amount cannot be spent on marriage, on wedding. And that law has been in existence for years, and people are complying. There are some sanctions, some fines that you will even pay when you contravene the law. I think it is a good thing we do, because like Jumoke was saying, it is your thing, but people are spending money. Maybe the husband, maybe the young guy or the person coming to marry you, will not have that kind of money. And he will go out and say, she's not my type, she's not my, I can't meet up. But when there is law on the ground to checkmate everybody, things will fall in place. I agree with this. If their bride price is high, nobody will go, including me. I will not. Nobody will go. So it's in the right direction.
Yes.
Thank you, Trudy. I'm impressed to hear that there's even Anambra has stipulated a specific amount.
You know, they always make that decision between Anambra and Imo when it comes to weddings. So I think that's the decision is making. I wanted to draw on, follow up on what Jumoke said. Really, is about what you can afford for the wedding.
Because even 100K, some people cannot afford 100K.
Is the bride list, the bride
the
bride price list that family members will bring, adding things and unreasonable demands in it. If the couple can afford a 50,000 naira wedding, they'll have a 50,000 naira wedding. I had a low budget nikah when I got married, and it was within my family, and I got married, and I got it, registered and everything, and I'm married.
And you're happy.
So, and I'm happy. And when I could afford it, I had a loud reception. I can afford it, but my marriage remains. There has to be the decision between the whole ceremony and the marriage itself. But the bride list, those things that everybody's taking advantage of.
You shouldn't
collect ceremony. But before we'll take a phone call. Welcome to the show. Good morning. Hello. Good morning. Edison, welcome to the show.
Okay.
I think there's delay.
Good morning. How are you? Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yeah, thank you very much. I have this to say. I'm from Delta State, Warri, to be precise. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay.
It's a little delayed.
I'm so sorry, Edison, we need to cut. I think if you're calling, don't listen to yourself. Once you get through to us, just continue talking, please, because the delay makes us not able to communicate with you. So,
I was going to say that a Yoruba wedding is extravagant.
Your family alone, safe. You can't cut your family. Your family is over 100 people.
I think nobody can choose that for you as a person.
I've been saying since I saw my cousin, she wanted to do her proper wedding in the UK. So she just wanted a small traditional wedding in Lagos. By the time we finished, with Ayefele on the band,
it's a small wedding. It's a small wedding. With Ayefele on the band.
So and I said, but her registry was actually very small, you know. Before we sat down, there were less than 50 of us. Before you sat down, somebody was already attending to you. Really enjoyed the registry. So I now said, this is the kind of small wedding that I want. If you see the way they look
Let's say, Kade doing. Good morning, welcome to the show.
Good morning, Jumoke. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Yeah. Issue. Personally, wedding has to do with the two couples. You understand? Whatever they agree on is what really matters here. Because most of all these high-profile wedding doesn't last long. It doesn't really matter. You understand? It depends on you and your spouse. Whatever you decide, you go for it. You don't have to go all out there money. Because you have to prepare for the kids. According to that lady there, that fair lady, you have to prepare for the
Esther.
kids. Wedding is all about ceremony. It's not marriage. You understand? It's crazy when you spend a lot of money on wedding and at the end of the day you don't have anything to fall back on there.
Yeah, so you gotta drink that.
I'm telling you, and everybody.
Timothy, you have to.
Yes, Edwin Tam says, I think most of the time it's the cost of the things in the market and the girl's family. Sonny Ayomikun says, the traditional ruler has done well. Those in the East should also look into the issue of bride price. The Senate should pass it into law. Omolaja says, the traditional leader was given a basic requirement that makes his subjects more disposable to suitors. I support it. Banki says, expenses should be determined by the couples. Don't go beyond your means. Cut your coat according to your cloth. Officials, if he says, cut your coat according to your cloth. A man's wedding expenses should be based on his pocket. It shouldn't be money-making venture.
I have a tweet here.
Two from you.
MWPL Pearl says, Esther said it all. We focus too much on ceremonies at the expense of the institutions itself. Andrew in Stratham says, spending millions on dowries and parties is defeatist for the survival of a marriage. Don't blame them in Benue State. Your view, TV.
So fantastic. Congratulations to Benue indigenes that live within Otukpa. You can go and marry from that area now.
Yes, so.
Up next, we bring in our celebrity guest. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
Aisha, just do what I asked you to do. Stop being sentimental.
You can't take advantage of her like this, Tim. It would amount to sexual abuse.
Aisha Joseph, just do and concentrate on grooming that girl to see if she's eligible to be my wife.
She's not! She just heard because her father is facing financial issues.
Fine. I will make that decision after expiration of 3 months. Look.
Welcome back. As you can see from the clip, Carl Egui Ikeago, a British-Nigerian actor and writer, he started his acting as a student of the University of Nigeria, Nsukka, where he studied English language. He featured in movies too numerous to count. And he's also added movie production to his profile. He has received several awards and nominations for his performances on screen. Welcome to the show, Kalu.
Thank you.
I feel so good. Like I watched you on Domino. Like I watched you. I watched you. I was so glued. I'm like, this guy. He's so fun. He's so fair. He's so fine. As a young girl, you know. How you doing?
I'm very well, thank you.
How's it been?
It's been great. Absolutely wonderful. It's a blessing when God puts you in a position where you can thrive. And believe me, I know I've done all kinds of jobs and I've been crap at them. So once you enter like a fish, when you put in the water, you're used to.
I was going to ask how you got into acting, but I read in your profile that your parents did not want you to get lost in UK, so they sent you back to Nigeria to study. Yes. So you speak Igbo fluently?
Yes, actually, English has always been, right from when I was born, English was banned in the house.
Whoa.
Yes, so you go outside and learn your English and everything, but I was taught to speak my native dialect of Igbo. Weren't even allowed to speak Central Igbo. I had to speak my native.
Wow.
And we had to learn to read and write.
I'm in love with your parents.
And I
thank him. I thank him every day for that. Wow. Yes.
So are you doing that?
Doing what?
Putting your children in that.
Well, I'm trying. A lot of pressure, but you know, I try to. Yes, I haven't started teaching her to read and write yet. Just a spoken one.
It's amazing that you can. Your parents, you know, made you understand your language and you can speak and understand. But every movie I've seen you in has always been English movies. I wondered, now that we have an Igbo channel,
right,
flowing, do you plan to produce movies in Igbo language? You know, to continue to encourage that.
I don't know about production. I mean, yeah, if I always do things as I'm being led to. However, I have done an Igbo movie before. It's called My Rich Boyfriend. It was, some people spoke English, but I spoke Igbo throughout. I told them that I wasn't going to speak any Central Igbo. I would just speak my native dialect, and that's what I spoke throughout. And I totally enjoyed it.
Wow. I'm very proud of, you know, I wasn't going to speak any Central Igbo, I was going to speak my native dialect, you know. So, English literature, right?
Yes.
Did you know from a young age that I'm going to go into stage, which is where you started from, and then going into Nollywood and all of that, or you just fell upon it?
That's a very, very good question. Very interesting question, because I was actually groomed to be a doctor.
It's typical stereotype of African parents.
Traditional Igbo father he was a lecturer as well. So, of course, you'd understand his expectations. And funny enough, I'm the only person who's in this profession. All the other, my siblings are all doctors, pharmacists, business consultants and everything. So. But the mistake my dad made, a very, very grievous mistake, was introducing, like I said, he introduced me to the world of literature when I was 4 years old. He made me read all sorts of things. And once I read it, I had to write as well. So that's where the writer in me came out. And because of the literature I was reading, my imagination was so fired up. And so when I got to secondary school, the only interest I had was anything to do with literature. I never thought I knew I'd be an actor, but I never thought I would be an actor because I've always been sort of introverted and I was a very shy child.
Really?
Always liked doing things indoors and everything. And ironically or paradoxically, the more shy you are, the more your imagination runs. That's how it is, because you're encased in that little world of yours. So I stumbled upon acting, stage acting, when I was in university. And it was a life-changing experience for me, because here's this shy person, here's this introvert who had this sort of boring life. And he had the opportunity to express all these imaginations through roles. If I wanted to be a serial killer, I could be a serial killer. If I wanted to be...
Which is a role that you enjoy.
And the lover boy.
I was going to come there.
don't get that away from me. Because I was going to ask him, how does he cope with the ladies in the industry? Not just in the industry, but, you know, generally. So how do you do?
Well, the other thing I found, in fact, most importantly, it was God who brought me into acting, because I just took to it like a fish to water. And I never lost sight of the fact that I was blessed, that he had blessed me with his gift, because I'd seen a lot of people who had been in professions that absolutely hated and had to. So that brought into me the fact that everything I have, if I'm good looking, I didn't contribute a single thing to, you know, add to it. If I was tall and everything, he gave me everything. So one of the key things you learn in acting is humility, to know that you are nothing and everything you have is given to you, and you start to grow from the bottom and start growing up. And so one of the biggest killers of celebrities, if I may use the word, is believing the hype. You know, people tend to pour lots and lots of accolades on you. And if you start to believe it, then you start to go down. So I don't, while, ladies kind of gravitate and everything, but I take it in perspective that this is what it is. My concentration is on my work.
You sound very spiritual. You know, you sound like, oh, God brought you into this. He gave you what you have. Does this impact on all the areas of your life, including your production, the kind of movies you work on? Do you try to pass on a message?
Well, one thing I've learned in this life is 90% of this world is spiritual. Only 10%, the things that we see, is physical, but spiritual it influences everything. And so I know who gave me the gift, and I know at some point in this life I will pass on to the next world, and I want to have to give an account of everything I've done. The gifts he's given me, I'll give an account. I'll say, God, this is what I did with your gift. So in that essence, everything I do, I try to, even if I'm playing a bad guy, or it has to be something that would teach a lesson. If I'm playing a bad guy, it would be, if you follow this path, this is how this is how it will end up. It may look very glamorous and everything, but it has its consequences, and that's how the world is.
So much like Obi-Wan when we had him on the couch. And then something just, you know, made me think Obi-Wan is a musician. We had Segun Arinze on the couch sometime, and he was talking about the Actors Guild and all the... Yeah, you remember?
Yes, I am.
Okay, so how do you aspire to lead them, and what, you know, challenges do you think the
you would want to address?
It's not a mantle I would like to carry. If need be, yes, but I would have to. There will have to be a reason for that. The reason I say that is the capacity in which I am in right now, or every position I'm in, I try to make the best of it and be as productive as possible. If it's to give advice, if it's to lead by action, example, I would do that. If I have the leading that, okay, this is where you're supposed to be, me personally, I will shy away from that, but if I have to, then I would, if it's a job.
So Segun Arinze is one of your mentors alongside RMD. Why, the bad boys of the industry.
And you sound like a good boy.
Kate Henshaw also. Have you acted with any of these people? And the role of mentor has been thrust on you. I mean, 12 years, you know, in the industry. How are you mentoring other people?
Interesting you to say that. My second movie was with RMD and Segun Arinze, and incidentally, there were bad guys as well in that. And I learned a lot from them. In fact, the professional ethics were just top notch, because I remember how. Because before that time, I was used to having to rehearse for stage,
yeah.
for about a month or 2 months. And here these guys, I'm on this set, and they're just looking through the script, especially RMD. He'll just look at the script, long lines, like 4 pages. He'll just go through them. He'll take the script and knock his head like this, and it's entered. So I was like,
Have you tried that before?
Do you know, I hid in a corner and read the lines and I hit it. It didn't work. So. But it was a revelation. Yes, there have been great pioneers in the industry and everything. Like I say, in my own case, I enjoy being the bad guy. It's a lot more sexy and romantic than being the good guy and everything. But I try to, when I'm on set with the proteges or younger ones, I may say, I don't really see myself as a mentor. I only share from my wealth of experience, because even I, as I am still reaching. The only time I ever want to say, yes, I've done it all and everything, is on my deathbed. Until then, I keep reaching.
Growing.
So what would you say is I want to know his best movie, but we could take that again.
Okay. Yeah, so we'll take a break shortly. When we return, I want to ask your opinion on our hot topic. Being that you're from the East,
right.
How much did it cost you to get married, and your opinion on that? But we'll take that when we come back from the break. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
Aisha. We need to talk.
Okay. I'm up now.
It's about our marriage. It's not working.
What a way to start. So we're talking about marriage. We're talking about how expensive marriages can be. Imagine if you spend 5 million on a wedding, you now come and say the marriage is not working.
It has to work.
It has to work. It must
By
work.
fire, by force.
But what's your opinion on the traditional ruler from Benue State who's stipulating a specific amount for traditional weddings? What's your opinion on people's feeling that the Southeast have placed such high price on ladies getting married?
Actually, if you say Southeast, you have to specify.
Because I heard that Anambra has.
Yes, because my brother married. I'm from Abia State.
Okay.
My brother married someone from Anambra State, and at the traditional wedding, he brought. They told him to bring 50,000, the bride price.
Wow.
So when we brought the bride price, the father just took about 5 notes out of it. I think about 3,000 or 5,000. Took it out and told us to go back with the rest.
Wow.
And said that we owe them, that they don't sell their daughters, we owe them, so we can't maltreat their daughters. In my own place, which is Achari Hechiawa, I think the bride price at the moment is, I think, 60 naira.
Oh,
yeah, it's 60 naira from my place.
So it's not really about the bride price, it's the list.
It's the list.
It's the list.
Even in my place, we don't have
Are your women that cheap? 60 naira.
It's not. It's not a matter of cheapness. It's about love.
Masters, Meiji.
So when I married my wife,
60 naira. naira. We have a phone call.
At the time it was.
Okay, just was controversy.
I'm not even minding.
What you're doing really is you're really opening our eyes. It is a given. People mistake this thing that, you know, the Easterners are too expensive to marry.
Exactly.
Which is a wrong opinion.
It's a wrong opinion, but now that you're setting it straight, that's amazing.
When I got married, I mean...
just permit me to pause you, please. We have a phone call.
Oh,
we'll come back to you. Sorry. Welcome to the show. Good morning, Tony.
Yeah, good morning.
Welcome to the show. Go ahead.
Yeah, I want to say hello to my uncle there.
Oh, Uncle Tony.
Hello, sir.
Hello.
How are you, sir?
I'm very well, thank you.
You know you are a bad person. I am so surprised today that you are so cool there.
You see?
Is it because of Jumoke? Because Jumoke is the only available there.
No, but he's not available. I mean, I don't do married men.
It doesn't mean he's a Last time we asked him who the lift, he has been keeping a lot of lifts. And we asked him the best of the lifts. He said it was from my sister, Pretentious.
Yes.
Is it still Pretentious now? The best lift you ever kissed.
He said the best lips you ever kissed. That you interviewed you before, and he said it was Pretentious.
When did I say that? I don't remember saying that. Oh gosh, my memory is not what it used to be. But
Tony, Pretentious is just a mentor.
You were going to give us
all.
You are continue on the marriage.
Yes, my wife's from Enugu State in Ngwo, actually, and the amazing thing was they didn't even want. I said, no, we don't want to stress you and everything. We don't even want. The man just called me into his room and said, in presence of my friend and everything, I said, we don't want you to spend so much money or too much stress, you know, on the wedding and everything. And he just called me into a room and said, you know, the bride price. And I brought a bundle of money, and he just took 18,000 and told me to go with the rest. And that was it.
Okay, so I guess that your family members are really lucky. But let's go back to the movie industry, because that's why we are here.
Yes.
You know, and there's a new trend, the cinema, Nigerian production in the cinema. I think that I can boldly say that we have almost 40% of Nigerian movies in the cinemas, which makes me feel really good. Right. You know, but I haven't seen much of you in the cinema, and I'm wondering, are you working on that, or you just feel that I'm not there yet?
Well, a couple of them, in fact.
Wives on Strike?
Wives on Strike came out. That was in cinemas, and a lot of them I'm working on at the moment are coming out as well. However, I'm not someone who follows trends. I do what is in my spirit to do. If the story is good, whether it's going on the internet, if it's going to the cinema, if it's going straight to DVD, as long as my own concern is the content.
Okay.
I don't care if something is going to the cinema, if it's a blockbuster. If the story is, like I said, I have to give an account of what I do.
Okay.
That is what is paramount to me.
Okay.
Yes.
Carlo, what is paramount? And one of the things that you plan to do is to go into production, right? You want to be a producer eventually?
I haven't said that. I didn't say that. I have produced some movies before. But like I said, if I'm led to do so, I will do so.
So what's your message if you ever decide that, oh, I want to go into production? What's your message to, what do you want to change in the society, you know, as a role model yourself?
Actually, I listened to the publications that you are reading out. It's heartbreaking what's going on in the world.
Yeah.
And my mission is to tell people to get closer to God, because the things going on in this world is snowballing.
Okay.
And you need eyes to know what is going on. That would be the message I would like to put out.
So what's your best movie?
What's
your best movie, your best production?
As in the one I have done? I can't say. I really can't say.
International favorite star?
International favorites. It's weird. My international favorite star would have to be Pacino.
Godfather.
Actually, for Scent of a Woman.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, wow, that's nice.
Scent of a Woman. I saw some really subliminal acting there. I know because I had a classmate who was blind. And if you see a blind man who is angry, you never see it on his face. The face is always as blank as this, but you feel the vibes coming out of him. And he nailed it in one scene where he grabbed his nephew or something like that by the neck. That was it for me.
Acting.
Yeah.
So, Jumoke will give us a few tweets.
Yeah.
Let's see what they're saying on Twitter.
Janelle says,
some love.
Tinsel Star. Kalu, so wonderful to watch him. Mutala is talking about marriage. Engineer Igwe says, Nwanni, sincerely, I like your humility and personality despite your background. Unlike most actors, actresses in Nigeria who live only fake lives.
Oh, so that's all we can take on the show today. It was really, you were fresh, a breath of fresh air. Most importantly, because people don't really know. We see you on TV playing all sorts of roles. We don't know who you are. So I'm sure a lot of people are connecting with you. It was nice meeting you. A great way to end a fantastic week. Thank you all for watching the show. Thank you, ladies. Join us next week for another exciting episode. Have a great weekend. Bye.
Wonderful.